Welcome to Learning with UNP. In this session of Python for Data Science, we are going to understand about print and comment. That includes how to print a statement, how to comment a statement, how to include a single line comment and a multi-line comment. Let's begin with understanding the Python syntax. As we already discussed that Python is a versatile and readable programming language that emphasizes code readability. The syntax of Python programming language is the set of rules that defines how a Python program will be written and interpreted by both the runtime system and by human readers. As you can see on the screen, you all might think that we are sometimes using terminology as Python statement and sometimes as Python function. Let me clear this thing first. In Python 2, print is a statement meaning it does not require parentheses to be used. For example, print hello, which is not having parentheses here. In Python 3, print is a function, which means it requires parentheses to be used. For example, print parenthesis open, text parenthesis close. If we run this, the output is hello world. So the main difference lies in the syntax. Let me tell you something more about print function. The print function is used to display output in Python. It prints the specified message on the screen. It allows to print text and variables values too. Let's explore more about print function. Print function is built in that allows you to display output on console. We can find its use in debugging and displaying or printing information to users. Here are the key concepts or points related to print function. First comes the basic syntax. As we have seen in the earlier example, the syntax is type print, open parenthesis, mention the object that you want it to print, also specify the separator and end parameters. If you want multiple objects to be printed, separate them with commas. The SEP parameter specifies the separator between objects. By default, it is a space. And the end parameter specifies the characters to be printed at the end. By default, it ends with a new line. Second comes printing objects. Print function can print various types of objects that includes strings, numbers, variables, and expressions. As said earlier, if you want multiple objects to be printed, separate them with commas. Third comes formatting the output. The print function lets you adjust how your message looks. You can do things like adding special characters, changing how numbers are shown, and even controlling how many decimal points to display for floating point numbers. Now, let's look at pseudocode representation. First of all, let's understand what is pseudocode representation. Pseudocode representation in Python means writing down the logic or steps of a program in a way that it's easy to understand without worrying about the exact syntax of Python language. It's a way to plan and outline your code before actually writing it, helping to clarify your ideas and approach. Let's check this out now. Step 1. Decide what you want to show, which means figure out what you want to display. Step 2. Write print function followed by what you want to show inside the parenthesis. Means use print function and put what you want to show inside the parenthesis. Step 3. Run your Python code, meaning run your Python code to see your message on the screen. Now, let's look at some examples to understand the usage of print function. First example is to print a string. String is a collection of alphabets, words, or other characters. This example goes like this. Print is command that we use to display Hello world are the strings that we want to display, and we are enclosing it in double quotes to indicate that it is a string. The entire line is enclosed in parentheses to make it clear that it's one single instruction. When we run or execute it, the output is hello world. Second example is to print multiple objects separated by a custom separator. Here, the name and age are variables which takes the values John and 25 respectively. Print displays message on the screen. The information inside this parenthesis means it combines strings and variables to form the message. The separator that we use to separate items is hyphen or dash. When we run this code, output is like this. Third example is to print result of an expression. In this code, x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 3 assign values to the variables x and y respectively. When you run the code, it prints the sum x and y. Print function displays the result by adding x and y. For this, the output is 8. Fourth example is to format floating point numbers. In this code, pi equals to 3.14159, which means this value is assigned to the variable pi. This part of format formats the value of pi to have two decimal places. When you run this code, it prints value of pi as 3.14 on the screen. Let's now understand about commenting in Python. Commenting in Python allows you to add notes, explanations, or documentation within your code. Comments are ignored by Python interpreter and do not affect the execution of the code. They are used along with the code to increase its readability. Developers or programmers or any other readers uses them to write his or her thought process while writing the code. It explains the basic logic behind why a particular line of code was written. Types of comments include single line comments and multi-line comments. Single line comments are used to add comments on single line of code. They are used to add short explanations or notes within the code. They start with hash symbol and continue till the end of the line. Anything after hash symbol is treated as comment and it will not be executed. Here is an example of single line comment. Age is equal to 25 means assigning the value 25 to the variable age with a comment explaining this. Coming to multi-line comments are also known as block comments that are used for longer explanations that extends to multiple lines. We can use triple single quotes or triple double quotes to create multi-line comments. Technically, this creates a multi-line string, but if it is not assigned to any variable or used in any expression, it will be treated as a comment and it will not be executed. Here is an example of multi-line comment. It used two lines as comments starting with and ending with single triple quotes. Finally, let's look at commenting shortcuts in Google Colab notebooks for different operating systems such as Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. We can use Ctrl+/ in Windows, Linux, and CMD+/ in Mac OS for commenting and uncommenting single and multiple lines. In case of commenting single line and uncommenting in single line, we need to place the cursor anywhere on the new line we want to comment or uncomment and then use shortcut. It then adds hash symbol when commenting and remove hash symbol when uncommenting from the line. Whereas in case of multiple line commenting and uncommenting, we need to select the lines we want to comment or uncomment using mouse or keyboard, then use the shortcut. It then adds or removes the hash symbol from each selected line. These shortcuts make it easy to quickly add or remove comments in Google Colab notebooks. That improves code readability collaboration, effectively explain code's logic, document important details, and make your code more understandable to others. This is all about today's lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.